Hey everybody, and welcome to my kitchen again. I am making one of my favorite quick meals. It's quick as far as preparation. It takes an hour to be in the oven, but it takes no time at all. And it is meatloaf. I also make meatballs with this. So this is what I have so far. I have a 6-ounce package of stuffing mix. I put in 1.5 cups of water only, not the oil that the recipe usually calls for. And I put the boiling water in here, 1.5 cups, stick it in the microwave for 3-4 minutes and let it sit for a bit. Now all the stuffing is soft. Now I'm going to be adding a pound of ground beef. And to this, I will be adding a couple eggs. And this is all it takes to season meatballs or the stuffed meatloaf I make. This is called cordon bleu meatloaf. It's stuffed with ham and provolone cheese. All right. Now the stuffing is still pretty hot, so I added the cold ground beef to it, and that'll temper the temperature a little bit, so when I put the eggs in, they'll be fine. Okay, and one thing I like also about this recipe is it really makes a pound stretch. You'll see how large the meatloaf is. Now I could make a smaller meatloaf and make a bunch of meatballs too, but I'm just going to make this into a meatloaf because it makes an excellent sandwich the next day. A meatloaf sandwich, ooh, already sliced from the night before, heat it up a little bit, put it on some toast. Wow. Awesome. All right, let's get some. Let's get an egg here. All right, that looks good. Got 2 large eggs here. That'll help firm it up. All right. Here. All right, and we'll mix this up. Whoops. All right, that's getting there. Now my daughter doesn't like this. She doesn't like it at all. So she's more than happy to make herself a sandwich for supper tonight. She is a texture girl, and if things don't have the right texture to her, she won't eat it. All right, now comes the technical part of rolling it. Now what I do is I take some foil, and this is all mixed up. Make sure your hands are nice and clean because you are going to be patting it down. It's messy. There's no way about it. It is messy. But we're going to make a rectangle is what we're going to do. Alright. Pat it into a rectangle. I'll take some of this mixture off my fingers here. Okay. I'm going to wash my hands quick. Alright. And now, what I do is I have some ham that I buy that is rectangular as well. It will make the process easier when it is rectangular. Okay, as you can see, I've got the rectangular flattened out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these slices of ham, I'm going to help squish it out a little bit. All right. There we go. So it's 4 pieces. Okay, and now we put on some provolone cheese. Now you can use any kind of cheese you want, any kind of sliced meat that you want. It is completely up to you. I like ham and provolone, that's what I like, so that's what I choose. Okay, and now you need to put another layer of your ham. And the reason why I have the 2 layers is that if the cheese is not encapsulated in the sliced meat, it will literally dissolve right into the ground beef mixture, and you won't even be able to tell that you've had cheese. And one more. And now, we're going to roll. This is a little bit of a challenge, the rolling part, because when you want to start rolling, the sliced meat will continue to slide. So you kind of have to hold it down and then roll it. And I'm continuously pushing this direction so that the meat does not continue to go beyond the ground beef on that side, because you want to be able to completely cover the sliced meat and cheese. So I just keep on moving down. And as you can see, it's starting to roll. It's just kind of like basically like making sushi. And you want to kind of make it tight. You want it to be able to be firm enough so that when it bakes, it doesn't kind of collapse on you. All right, now. Okay, now what I do is I take this side and roll it back a little bit so I can get to the seam. And then what I do is I kind of pat it around and round the edges and make sure that it's sealed. Okay, now I'm going to wash my hands again quick here. Okay, and now we have whatever you want to bake in. Okay, now I have the seam here, so this top part's going to be the bottom. So what I do is I just grab onto this, and so the bottom is on, and I place it in the pan. And then I again form the edges a little bit there. Now I'm going to cover that with foil, put it in a 350 oven for about an hour. It takes about an hour. Alright. Now, if you are a ketchup person, because some people can't have meatloaf without ketchup, by all means, if you want to cover that up in ketchup, you can. It's not something I like, so every once in a while I might, once it's sliced and served, I might put a little barbecue sauce with it, and that's really good. But when I bake it, I just bake it plain. All right, so there you go. It's in the oven. I didn't have to slice anything or dice anything. I literally just mixed the stuffing mix, ground beef, and a couple of eggs. And really good. And if you want to make it into, this is what I do if I make it into meatballs. Depending on what size of meatball you want, I have the whole thing filled with the ground beef mixture. If I want a large one, just scoop, roll, put it in a baking pan, a large cookie sheet, or a smaller one. Really makes good meatballs with red sauce, or like the German Swedish meatballs. So anyways, that is how I make my stuffed meatloaf. I call it cordon bleu meatloaf. And I will show you once that's done and the rest of the meal is done. I'm going to have mashed potatoes and brown gravy and probably some corn and peas. And I will show you what that looks like when it's done. I'll see you later.